Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Agents in the Trenches. And this is a space and a place that we created to just deposit as much value to you guys as possible, to bring in the real life, updates and struggles that people are facing now in the real estate market. And we wanted to come in here with solutions and things that you guys can do to help your business and to succeed in whatever goals that you have. So, welcome everyone. My name is Talia Miranda. Today I will be your host. Usually I have Lucy with me, but as you guys know, she's traveling Colombia and she has some speaking engagements out there. So if you have a moment to reach out to her, send her a text message, send her a message, and just say, "Hey, good luck, Lucy. Wishing you the best," because I know it's back to back out there for her, and she's been nonstop. So congratulate her. I mean, she's doing amazing things. She's doing a lot of things over there, and just making a huge wave of a difference. So we love her. We wish her the best. So Lucy, if you're watching, thank you so much for just being a powerful leader and just giving us an example to follow. So, but today I'm super excited because we have two amazing guests who's going to be coming in here and shining some light and giving you guys some more information in different areas of real estate. So it's going to be super exciting. I was able to meet them for the first time in our last Southwest Florida Real Estate Mastermind, and they are incredible humans. So I just want to bring them on, give them a little spotlight to introduce themselves, what they do, who they help, and then just start the conversation. So let's go ahead and bring in Traci Dains from Maronda Homes. Hi, Traci. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good. I feel honored. Thank you so much for including me.
Of course. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation. I mean, we're excited to have you here for the first time. And it was awesome to meet you in person in the last mastermind. How did you like it? Did you have a good time?
Oh, yes. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, meeting a whole bunch of people and from different areas, different walks of life, like kind of under the same goal. Yeah, it was amazing.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself, who you're with, what you do, and who do you help?
Okay. Well, I'm Traci Dains. I am with Maronda Homes, and I am the Realtor Relations Specialist here at Maronda. And I'm a mother of four grown children. They wouldn't like it if I called them children, but I have four grandbabies as well. And so, yeah, I'm just out here working it like everybody else, and happy to be here.
Well, we are happy to have you and give you an opportunity to let us know what's happening in the world of new construction. So, thank you so much again. Let's go ahead and bring in our second guest to the stage. Hi, Ben. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Of course, Ben. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do, and who do you help?
Sure, but my name is Ben Miller. I work with the Chapman Insurance Group. We're one of the largest independent brokerages and agents in the state, with over 100 employees and 5 offices total. Who we help on a day-to-day basis are homeowners and anyone with a personal insurance contract. So we specialize in that across the entire Southwest Florida market and state directly here. So I've been with the agency about 4 years. I grew up here. My family's here, my wife and 2 little kids as well. So we're, again, really happy to be here on the podcast today.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to have you. Thank you so much for accepting this invitation. Tell us a little bit about your experience at the mastermind because I think this was the second time that we met. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you
At
were,
least the first, maybe second
yeah.
as well. But
How
it
was,
was
yeah, go
such
ahead.
an incredible event. The speakers there, their stories, how relatable they were, and what they're doing in the community at large to help keep clients, keep everyone educated, and doing it the right way. I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of ways to do business in this town and area, and it seemed at the mastermind just an excellent collection of people and professionals. So
Yeah,
it's a great time.
yeah.
That's Very well said. Thank you so much. I mean, it takes a lot to put something like that together. So just to hear, the feedback and, how people just, had a good time and what they got out of it is always really nice because they're like, that's exactly why we put it together, just to help as many people as we can, right? And then someone in that room needed to hear something that someone said either in a panel or in a speaker, one of the speakers. So I'm super excited that you guys were able to join us for the first time at the mastermind, and hopefully that won't be the last time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. All right, well, let's kick off the conversation. Ladies first, Traci, tell us a little bit about what's happening, and developments or trends that you're seeing in the new construction market.
Well, I mean, obviously, everybody is talking rate, right? But one of the things that is unique here in Southwest Florida is we also have PTSD from Hurricane Ian. And so there's just a lot of stuff it's just changing. The scope of what people are wanting is changing as far as a lot of people do want new construction because they want to make sure it's up to code. So it's definitely a new age in the real estate market, and in new home construction, we're seeing an uptick in people that are more interested in making sure that their home is safe and in the right places, that sort of thing. So it's a change in the market. I mean, we can feel it.
Yeah, I'm curious, Traci, have you seen any particular like age group or demographic of people that are buying, new construction? Because I read an article the other day and they talked about like millennials, right? Like how there's so many millennials that are coming into the market and buying homes. Are you seeing that same trend or something a little bit different?
I don't know if it's just our location, but I can't say that I've seen a difference in demographic. What I have seen is a lot of relocations from the Miami area, that side of the coast coming over here. But, we're still getting a lot of the multi-generational families that are wanting to buy new construction. They're wanting to upgrade their home, wanting to get a little bit bigger space. And of course, Maronda, we have several floor plans that have, options that like guests with ensuite baths that provide that for them. But as far as like demographics, I can't say that I've seen too much of a trend difference.
Yeah, it could be definitely the area that we're in,
Yeah.
So I was just curious to see as far as that goes. So thank you for saying that, because I'm like, it could be the case for other places, but I mean, I'm also seeing a lot of relocation, people as well coming to this area, and they're kind of range and age and the size of the family as well. So that's pretty interesting. So Ben, I'm curious to know, as far as the insurance industry, Traci had said, we're kind of still like, traumatized a little bit about Hurricane Ian, right? And there was a lot of things that happened because insurance company, a lot of them pulled out of Florida. So can you shine a little bit light on that and what's going on with the insurance world? Are there, more insurance companies coming back to Florida, or where are we at with that?
Yeah, the shortest response is that the trend of what we're seeing is more positivity in the market. Ian changing the landscape so significantly from a property and casualty position was devastating, and what families went through and what it impacted homes and insurance carriers overall. Over the last 6 to 8 months, we are seeing new companies come into the market, which is directly helping with the supply and demand, because when we have more newer carriers, that's going to ultimately drive down our costs and premiums. For the last 5 to 7 years, it feels like every single time we get a renewal, you get a price policy, never goes down. In fact, it increases so significantly. So where we are seeing a better trend and more positivity is with newer carriers entering into our market to help with that.
I love that. And that's definitely a positive impact to like the clientele, right? Like you just said, I mean, it's going to help with better rates. The more options, the better, rates that they'll be able to choose from, more options ultimately, right? So that's really good. I'm happy to hear that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Oh, Tracy, I have a question for you as well. So I work with a lot of newer real estate agents. And obviously when we're driving around and we're doing, whether it's field training or we're, going out on appointments, I mean, it's no brainer, right? That we see a whole bunch of new construction being built left and right, whether it's Cape Coral or Lehigh, there's a lot of them. So a lot of times what the questions they ask me is, okay, like what kind of strategies can we take to be able to build relationship with these builders and developers? Do you have any insight or tips or strategies that our real estate agents can take to build a better connection with you guys?
Yeah, just stop in the models. Stop in the models, get to know the associates that are sitting in those seats. They actually want you to. We are coming up with events and strategies to collaborate with agents that are out there. I know with the NAR lawsuit and all the changes that have come down with that, Maronda, we're trying to get the word out. Like, we want to pay our buyers agents. We want to give them exposure. We want to help them increase their business. So, I mean, my suggestion would be come to the events that they're hosting. I'm seeing a lot of lunch and learns. I'm seeing a lot of events that are happening at the models, because the associates there want to meet you. They want to see you. They want to engage with you. So don't be shy. Stop in and just say, how can we work together?
That's great. Do you have any up and coming events or lunch and learns that you want to announce, or is that to be determined?
No, we actually have a lot coming up. Like, my calendar is full for sure. In July, real estate agents, they need to do a lot of their own marketing. And so there's a lot of challenges with, what do I use? What avenues, what apps, blah, blah, blah. And so we decided to host at most of our models. We're going to be having independent events where we're teaching our agents how to use Canva, because that seems to be one of the biggest apps that people are using in their marketing. And not a lot of people know how to use it. So we wanted to provide an opportunity for them to learn from a seasoned professional that has used it day in, day out. And and then on top of that, Maronda has a really, really big, and this is kind of to be announced event, but we're going to be hosting a big coming out party in Sunseeker. Because our desire is to engage with the real estate agents and bring them in and say, hey, yes, rates are up. It's turned into a buyer's market, but at the end of the day, we're all in this together, and we want to help you win. And so, yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a very high-end, high-class event. So, yeah, that's one of those to be announced. So if you want to get on the invite list to that, you definitely need to reach out to me.
Yes, that sounds exciting. Definitely share the details. And I love the fact that you guys are doing a Canva workshop. It's so crazy that you say that, because I was just having conversations, I think it was earlier this week or last week, with a couple of our newer agents, and they were talking about Canva, right? I'm pretty, technically savvy, so like I can maneuver around certain softwares, but not everybody can, right? So while I think it might be easy, another person might be like, oh my gosh,
Right.
this is so complicated, right? Like,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
think that's really important, when it comes to technology and, educating everyone, right? Like, how do you use it, and what's the best way to use it and implement it?
Yeah, and it's difficult because every agent wants to kind of keep up, right?
Yeah.
From QR codes to digital business cards, like all of that, like we all want to look like we are cutting edge. And so, but sometimes we just don't know what we don't know until someone tells us. So we just want to give that opportunity for agents for sure.
Yeah, definitely share those details as well. We'd be happy to come by and support, and I'll bring my agents as well. I think that would be super incredible.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes. So Ben, in that same line of question, so what tips do you have for agents to build strong relationships with insurance providers and leverage these connections for their business?
Sure. I would say as early as you can start as possible in the process for your clients. So getting the inspections done early, gathering the insurance policy information from the seller, let's say, and inspections. I'm looking at a 4-point and wind mitigation inspection. Those two items, that's what carriers are looking for. And for real estate agents to look at insurance brokers who have multiple options, who have carriers, who have different relationships with the carriers, so that they can get a good feel for the market for each of the properties they're looking at. Because as I mentioned before, with new companies coming in, it's important to have that relationship with the insurance provider and that preparedness for your client as well, to be proactive with those inspections and with policy information. So as much as real estate agents can do that, can help the process.
And if I could comment to that, I know that since Ian, a lot of people, the demand for lots and homes that are not in flood zones, I mean, that's been huge, right? Because flood insurance has been astronomically high.
Yes.
And of course, even the fear, like we all have PTSD. If you were here and Ian, we all have PTSD. We all remember. Myself personally, my house wasn't zoned a flood zone, but yet I had to be airboated out of here. So, and even with Maronda, like we have lots, we have spec homes that we have that wasn't in a flood zone originally, now might be in a flood zone. And so we really are looking to connect with insurance agents so we can be prepared for our homeowners. We can provide them with the information that they need, the costs that they obviously want to know about. And, everything's changed. The whole scope has changed. And I just feel like if people in the real estate industry, if we all come together and we work together and collaborate on how to make this a transition that is good for the buyers, good for our people, I think it would just be a fantastic thing.
I agree.
That's so well said, Traci. Absolutely.
Yes, I agree. So on that same area with the flood insurance, Ben, so, yes, things have changed, right? There's, like Traci just said, there was places that was not in a flood zone before Hurricane Ian that now is. So what's the best method that a real estate agent can take when they're searching for properties for their clients, and maybe they want to know for sure, is it on a flood insurance? Should they, can the insurance agent help them with that? How can we basically leverage you guys in our business?
Yes, 100%. We constantly get asked about what's the first thing to look at for a property. Almost always it's that flood area, that flood zone prone location. And what we're able to do with our contracts is we can definitively tell you what map, what area that it's going to be in, even before you get down the line in that process between the seller and the buyer. So you can directly ask an insurance agent to say, can you run this? Can you look at this determination for me of where the flood map and zone is? So as quickly as we can respond to that, it gives you that idea moving forward. And if it ends up being a location that is going to be in that flood zone, that higher risk area, to start looking at if the seller has an existing flood policy. Because where the new FEMA rates changed back in 2021, if there was a prior policy to that time frame, it can be transferred. The flood policy can help cut down on those costs so much to a new buyer with an existing contract. So to stay open in communication with that seller, and then using the insurance agents to say, hey, what does this look like from a flood map area?
Okay, so they can reach out to the seller agent directly to get this information, and you're still can help them with that whole transition and whatnot.
Absolutely, because there's even one more point to that. In certain areas, certain homes are built up above where the normal sea level is. There's even a process that we can assist with and help with to take your home out of a flood zone, because there are certain areas and locations and a process to do that. It's not every single address or home, but when it's at a certain level, it's a worthwhile process, because if a bank is involved and you can take your your home out of a flood zone, it can help significantly in costs long term.
That's really interesting. That is really interesting. And I think that can probably be a whole podcast in itself, right? Like
Mhm.
how you go about doing that. Because for us, I'm sure, like we were just talking about Canva, that sounds just complicated to me because I'm not in that, right? But for you, I'm sure it's like, oh, okay, like I can do this, that. So that's pretty cool to know for sure.
Definitely.
So what
Yes.
I take from that is, if you don't know, call Ben.
Yes. Exactly. For sure. So Tracy, I'm curious. So when new construction properties, right? Obviously, you still recommend getting inspections. Is that what? How do you feel about inspections when it comes to new construction?
It's interesting. I was just sitting down talking to someone the other day about that. Yeah, I mean, it's important. Like, you're buying a home, you want to know that it's been inspected and that it's good and it's sound. And I know with Maronda, we have our own processes with that. All of our homes are up to code, but at the end of the day, as a buyer, it would be super important for you to spend the minimal amount of money to hire an inspector before you sign on the dotted line and make sure that that home that you're purchasing is sound. So 100%, I say go for it. Yeah.
Me too. I agree. I agree for sure. What are some of the challenges that you see agents facing when maybe they're dealing with new construction properties?
Challenges. I honestly, it would hands down be the time frame. When
Okay.
people start to look for a house, it's like they want to, if they have a house that they own, they want to be able to put it on the market, sell it, and move in the next day, to their home.
Yes.
So the time frame, the build time frame is probably the biggest struggle. But when people start to realize the advantage of buying new versus resale, the fact that all of our homes are up to code, again, going back to Ian, going back to hurricanes, everything is up to code. And not only that, like with Maronda, not every builder, but with Maronda, you get to come in, you get to pick your finishes, you get to choose some upgrades. You actually even get to choose if you want a bathtub or a nice glamorous shower, and so when you get to make those choices, there's just such a excitement and like an ownership over that home that you wouldn't necessarily get with a resale. And I'm not downing resale, but I am saying, like, if you walk in, I know myself, I've purchased resale homes, and I had to go in and I had to start painting and I had to start ripping up this floor and I had to start putting down kills because it smelled like cat. So stuff like that, you just don't have to encounter when you're buying a new home. You get to walk in, you get to look around, and you get to say, I picked that backsplash, I picked that countertop. And there's just a pride that goes with that. So it's
Yeah,
worth the wait. It's worth the
And
wait for sure.
not to mention, Tracy, from the insurance side, it's a lot more straightforward for a newer construction
Yes.
home cost wise.
Well, so I love my neighbors. We're a very close community where I live, and I have the newest home on the block. So obviously my homeowner's insurance is about a third the price of all of theirs. So
Yes,
there's definitely advantages when it comes to insurance. Yeah.
absolutely.
I love that. And I love that Maronda Homes gives that flexibility for buyers coming in to choose their finishes. Because it's true what you're saying. A lot of new construction properties, no, you get what you get, and that's it. You know,
Yeah.
so that's really incredible. So going back to the time frame, right? So time frame being one of the biggest issues. How can us as real estate agents overcome that in regards to letting our clients know, or how do you think that would be the best practices, I guess I would say, for real estate agents to aware their clients about that?
Good question. Good question. Honestly, it would just be about preparation. It would be about, instilling the value in what they get over one thing versus the other. And, either someone's going to appreciate that value or they're going to be in a rush. So, there's really nothing that you can do to force someone to believe in waiting. But you can definitely offer the value of what it brings to wait. We all know that, haste makes waste.
Yeah, yes. Good things come to those who wait, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And, that's circling back to our previous point, which is why you need to have strong relationships with people like yourself, right? Who are in this, field and know everything about new construction and then the products that they sell, because obviously, Traci is able to tell me, okay, these are the benefits. Right? These are the benefits of buying this specific model home, what you can get out of it. And then it's up to us as real estate agents to be able to articulate that to our people and say, okay, this is why you should wait to buy a new construction home. And same thing with, insurance company and letting them, and also informing them that there's benefits in buying new construction home with your insurance policy. So you want to have strong relationships with people like Traci and Ben. So if you have questions and you want to see you want to go in their model home, or you want to sit down with Ben and get some more information, this is a perfect opportunity to reach out to us. Maybe later on today we'll put in the chat how to reach them, or maybe you guys can say what's the best way to reach you as we're about to close this out, so like that we can have these connections being built. Traci, you want to go first?
Okay. Well, definitely. You can reach me via phone, 941-286-4011. You can text me, call me. I'm in and out of meetings a lot, so text is great. You can email me, Dains, DAINST, @Maronda.com. Or just go to Maronda.com and click contact us, because that gets to our region as well. Yeah, so awesome. Easy peasy, like any way you want to. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm easy to get a hold of.
Yes, you are. I can definitely say that. When I reach out to Traci, she's almost immediate response. She's really on top of her stuff. So I know we'll also put, their information here. So if you guys are watching, we'll put in the comments later on today, and we'll add it to our promotional stuff as well. So Ben, best way to reach you?
Along the same lines: phone, email, text, online, or our main website. My best phone number is 239-300-2217, and email is ben@cigflorida.com, Florida spelled out. We've also got cigflorida.com all across the state there. So I'm happy to connect and continue helping our clients across the board. And Traci and Talia, thanks so much for today.
Thank you. We need to talk.
Yes.
Yes, for sure. Oh my gosh, thank you guys so much for taking the time here to share your golden nuggets and just deposit value, right? Because that's what it's all about, is just taking what we know and letting people know, hey, it's not that complicated, right? Like just build these connections, network with people, and just continue to educate yourself. As a real estate agent, we need to be able to know, we don't got to know everything, but we just got to know a little bit to be able to articulate to our people and tell them why they should wait for a new construction house. Tell them why they should, do that, because it helps them with their insurance policy. So if you guys want to know more, go ahead and reach out to them. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Well, we're going to wrap this up now. If you guys have any questions, reach out to us. But until next time, we will see you. Have an incredible weekend and take care. Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.